Hey guys, so as you headband on, ball in hand, pause, check. All right, we're ready. All right.
Hey guys, so as you can see by the title,
So guys, you can see by the title, we're talking about the most underrated NBA star, in my opinion, in NBA history. And of course, I cut it out in the photo to try to be like my hero, Mike Korzemba. But I'm talking about Andrei Kirilenko. Now, Andrei Kirilenko was sort of before his time, really, because Andrei Kirilenko was basically Scottie Pippen, who was taller. I guess I could say that, but he was less offensively gifted as Scottie Pippen. Now, Andrei Kirilenko was defensive monster, like complete clamps, really good shot blocker. Like in his rookie year, he averaged 2 blocks a game. Mitchell Robinson just broke his record for most blocks for a rookie, but still very impressive nonetheless. He was even a small forward too. That's what made it so impressive that he could rack up these blocks and be such a good rim protector. Because he stood at 6'9" and only 210 pounds, but that made him very agile and he had a very high vertical leap. He started his career not a great shooting percentage from 3, only at 25% on 1.2 attempts a game. But as he grew older, he began to become a very efficient 3-point shooter. By his second year, he became a 32%, so that's already a 15% increase in 3-point percentage, and he started taking more too. So in his 3-point taking height in his Utah days, which were his best days, he shot 2.6 threes a game and made 1, and that is 33%, which is 1 for 3, very good. His best scoring year was in 2003, where he averaged 16.5 points a game, and I know that it's not shocking, but it is very great. But if you look deeper at his numbers, you see that he averaged 2 steals a game and 3 blocks. 2 steals and 3 blocks are all-star level numbers, and of course he averaged 6.2 rebounds and 3.2 assists along to go with the 16 points, and that is very, very good, especially for someone of his age. At only 23, he was averaging those numbers. But he was not an all-star that year. And those are better numbers than what Steve Nash got for the MVP. So the reason why Andrei Kirilenko was so underrated was because he played in an era that really was flashy. It starred Kobe Bryant. Everyone just wanted to see him shoot threes and like make shots and just dunk. But really, Andrei Kirilenko specialized in just being clamps, honestly. Andrei Kirilenko is sort of like Draymond Green, in that he can average he can guard every single position. Unlike Draymond Green, who looks like Donkey from Shrek. I'm Shrek, Donkey! Shrek! We're just gonna pretend like I didn't say that. But we're gonna go into why he declined and why he isn't still in the league today. So let's get into it. So he did suffer some minor injuries, but that wasn't really the downfall of his career. It was really about distractions. And it was really just about distractions. Many people believe that the reason for Andrei Kirilenko's downfall was World of Warcraft. That brings us to our sponsor for today. World of Warcraft is an awesome multiplayer game. I'm just kidding. But as you can see in this article, Tim Duncan and Channing Frye were making fun of Andrei Kirilenko for having multiple max level characters that could have been sold for $100,000. $100,000. That is absolutely ridiculous. To say he had 10 players, that is $1 million on World of Warcraft. I know he's had a pretty big contract, but he didn't earn enough money to sustain that obsession. And I know you can just point to him and say that he's a major nerd, which is true, which is a fair point, but oh my god, $1 million on World of Warcraft, that's just too much, man. Andrei Kirilenko also got traded from Utah after his 15.3 points per game season. He started to get inconsistent minutes and was playing less and less games. So in his first season, he played 82 games, next 80, then 78. And then all of a sudden, he dropped off to 41 games. He played half of the season, and this was due to a minor injury. But later, he bounced back and played 69 games. And then played 70, 72, 67, 58, 64. And then all of a sudden, he got traded. He left the Utah Jazz to play in Russia on another pro league. And he was still pretty good. 11.7 points. He's a really decent role player. He became way more efficient from three, shooting 37%, 49% from mid-range. He was a knockdown mid-range shooter. Still averaging 1.8 blocks and 1.8 steals, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. He was having really, really good numbers, and then he just all of a sudden went to go leave for Russia when he was 30. Then he came back to the NBA in one season to play for the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is an absolute mistake. But he only played 64 games, and he looked like he was kind of getting back on track at the age of 31, averaging 12.4 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 2.8 assists, 1.5 steals, and a block. Those are amazing numbers. And then all of a sudden, he went from 64 games to 45 games, getting inconsistent minutes and being benched at the end of games, and averaged 5 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds, half a steal, and half a block. Those are incredibly low numbers. He dropped by 1 in every single stat, and he dropped by 7 points per game, only averaging 5. He shot 20% from 3, which is the worst he's ever shot the 3. And he only attempted 0.1 threes a game, and he didn't even make 0.1. He made under 0.1 threes a game. His rebounds were terrible, his assists were terrible, and he just wasn't the same as himself. In 2014, he was 33, and he was traded to the Brooklyn Nets, and that is where he fell off, completely averaging 0.4 points per game, 0 blocks, 0.1 steals, 0.1 rebounds, and 1 assist a game. Only playing 7 games and averaging 5.1 minutes a game. He went from 26 minutes, he averaged about 26 to 30 minutes a game for his entire career, and then all of a sudden, he dropped off and averaged 19, and then his final season, he only averaged 5.1. He did not shoot nearly enough, he didn't get nearly as much touches as he should. Pause. And Andrei Kirilenko just fell off. Fell off absolutely completely. Andrei Kirilenko could have been the biggest what-if player ever, because in the Utah Jazz, he played with Greg Ostertag and John Stockton, and Karl Malone. That team was so good. You had John Stockton at point guard, John Starks at shooting guard, Andrei Kirilenko at small forward, Karl Malone at power forward, and Greg Ostertag at center. That is a 60-win team right there. That team is so good. But, of course, the basketball gods were not kind and blessed his career with tons of injuries and tons of inconsistent minutes and not good coaches. And unfortunately, we're just left with a former good defensive player. But he did not win any accolades at all. I don't think he won a championship at all. I think he was an all-star 1 year, and he really did not live up to his potential. He wasn't the highest pick in the draft, but AK-47 was an ultimate player. He had an 18.7 PER. He was so efficient, but all he needed to do was just stay healthy, don't go to Russia and get inconsistent minutes, and stay the fuck off of World of Warcraft. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to check out my boy Luke, Reliable Rants in the description. I'm going to leave it there. They don't fall out. And as always, stay sharp.